So I had full intentions of making an unpacking video for you guys because a lot of you requested it and I really did want to do it. However, I am going to have to put that dream down the drain because I've been home for about 24 hours. I hadn't unpacked yet, but I did need a few things from my suitcase. This is the situation we're dealing with. Now, if you can't see, it's an utter tip. It's an absolute mess and I cannot function. I cannot begin to comprehend where I'm going to have any more space, where I'm even going to put anything, what was in my suitcase and what wasn't anymore. It's just a mess, so I'm really sorry there's not going to be an unpacking video. But what I will do for you right now is what will hopefully be a very satisfying time lapse where I am just going to unpack everything and get this room tidy so that I can have some peace and productivity. Okay, it's not perfect, but I've pretty much unpacked and it's a huge improvement. Ta-da! Nothing on the floor apart from a few bags underneath the desk. Nothing cluttering up the desk that was before, so now I feel like I can have my laptop, my iPad, I can get my chargers and my hard drives out and I can actually start being productive, get some work done. Because for me, like when my room is cluttered, it then reflects on my mind. Like my mind is super cluttered and I just cannot organize my thoughts. But when I've organized and tidied and like cleaned my room, it's like my thoughts are suddenly clearer as well, which is so nice. Unfortunately, I'm not someone who can super easily keep their room tidy though. That's something that I do struggle to keep on top of. But once I've done it, I feel amazing. Now, we all know I love a good travel map, evidently, and so I was very excited when I returned home from this trip with a brand new travel map from a company called Awesome Maps, and this is called the Bucket Map. Looks like a normal map. Let me show you up close. So this is called the bucket list map and it's filled with 250 things across the world of things to do before you die, essentially, things to have on your bucket list. And let's see, have I done any of these already? Celebrate Songkran, the Thai New Year, and join in one of the biggest water fights there are. I did that in 2013. Woohoo! I've been dying to go to Peru lately. I watched a movie which has really inspired me to go there, so that is 100% on my bucket list. Do you know what? I feel like all of these things genuinely are on my bucket list. There's nothing in the world that I don't want to do, and so it's so nice to get... Like, I love looking at maps anyway, but the fact that this one like has pictures and visuals and says what you can actually do there. Pakistan, I'm going to be going to Pakistan so soon. And I actually have a discount code for you where you can get 20% off any Awesome Maps products using my code bananas or the link in the description. Awesome Maps actually have a different variety of world maps with different niches. So you can get a world map which shows you all the best hiking trails in the world, a world map with all the best dive sites in the world, one with I think all the best surfing spots. So definitely have a look on their website and see what they've got, because as well as the fact that they have all of these different types of bucket list world maps, they also sell them in a few different materials. So this is the paper one. I've also got this canvas one which I plan on hanging up on the wall. I'm so excited. It's a really gorgeous soft material and it's bigger as well. And they've also sent me this microfiber towel which I am 100% going to bring on my next adventure. The microfiber towels are Wex-Tex, is that how you say it? Certified, which means that they pack down super small. The material is absolutely perfect for travel because it's also quick drying, and I feel like this is going to be a real talking point. Like if I'm on the beach or on a dive trip or on a boat and I whack out this towel, I feel like it's just something to start talking about, isn't it? You can create conversations with people about what they've done, about what you've done, about what you'd like to do. So yeah, I'm really excited to bring this on my next trip, and I definitely will be bringing it to Europe with me. I think if you're a travel lover, or if you know someone who is a travel lover, I think one of the awesome maps in whatever niche it is, or whether it's the bucket list map, can be such a good gift. Whether it's their birthday, or whether it's Christmas, or just a special occasion. Like, I was just so stoked to receive this. I haven't actually read through everything on the map yet, but you know, with time, it's going to be coming with me when I travel, and I'm going to hang this canvas up on this wall. And I think having it at home as well is just such a nice way to keep the travel spirit alive and keep you inspired. I just love looking at maps anyway, and I think that these ones are really cool. Awesome Maps are a small company based in Germany with a remote team, so it's really nice to support a small business. And they ship from Berlin in Germany and from Utah in the US, so no matter which side of the Atlantic you are, they've got some really fast and reliable shipping times. So yeah, there we go. That's how small the towel packs up. Absolutely tiny. Absolutely tiny. Perfect for travel. I want to see what else I've done. Yep, that one I've done. Talk with toucans on the hike to Tikal to view some of the Mayans' most impressive architecture. Done that one. Colombia, I've done this one, but not this one. So I've done the 1,200 steps up to Ciudad Perdida, but I've not done the trail ride along the Caño Cristales, Colombia's rainbow-coloured river. I'll definitely have to look into that next time I'm there. I am pleased to say that in my 2 months in the Philippines, I've done everything on the list. Oh yeah. Emily and I have been up pretty much every morning that I've been home and that she's been home, between 6:30 and 7:30, off on like a 1.5-hour walk, which is exactly what we're doing right now. It just feels so good, and also like you're getting out into nature, which is something that you'd be doing when you're traveling anyway, and so it's essentially like we're traveling in our own home. It is. Our coffees. Emily uses the Costa app, which I didn't know about, and it's very, very good. How does it work?
So you just click on collect, you choose your local nearest Costa,
Yeah.
put your order in,
Sorry.
and then 5 to 8 minutes you pick it up.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers. We don't even have to wait.
We don't.
Fantastic effort, if I do say so myself. We did. Let's have a look. So it took us just under an hour and 20 minutes. We did 7.51 kilometres with an average pace of 10 minutes 29 seconds per kilometre. Active calories burnt 358. Elevation gain 30 metres. It was a little bit drizzly, but not too bad. And yeah, I feel great. It's now 9 a.m. because we set off at 7:30 today, and I'm ready to start the working day. It's just a great way to make you feel good, and then like the whole day I can go through looking at my watch going, I've already done my exercise for the day, and just kind of feeling good, but it's not something that's like so intense that you feel knackered. It's energizing, let's say. Yeah, I'm really a big fan of going for long speed walks in the morning at the moment. It's great. It's very common to get a case of the travel blues after returning from a long trip, and it's completely normal and understandable as well, because obviously you've been off having the time of your life on this trip, and now you're back home, back to reality. And it may not have necessarily hit you how much you enjoyed the travelling life until you got home. Like, you know the song, you don't know what you get till it's gone. It's very true. I believe that with the majority of things in life, however, that we can change how we feel about them just with a change of mindset. I'm a big fan of creating logical, actionable steps to create solutions to pretty much anything in life, including emotion, because I believe that if we take a step back and view our lives from an outside perspective, anything is possible. So with that, Managing travel blues. I have 4 actionable steps. Step number 1 is to look back on your trip and find out what you have learned from that trip. And it can be anything. Things you've learned about yourself, things you've learned about others, about friendships, about relationships, about customs and culture. And I'll give you an example. On my Thailand trip, I learned that I give in to peer pressure more than I thought I did, and that I need to work on being more firm with my decisions to make the absolute most of being in that destination. I learned that actions speak louder than words, and that it's important not to ignore certain actions of others just because they're not verbalizing it. I learned that some people are not going to like you whatever you say and whatever you do, and so you might as well just do what makes you happy because other people's opinions don't actually matter. I learned that if they wanted to, they would. I learned that a language barrier is actually not a big deal at all at the end of the day. I learned that a smile, good intentions and good interactions are more valuable than anything money can buy. I learned that some people are insecure and they project their insecurities on you in a negative way, and it's not nice, but you can see that they're not a terrible person and they just have inner work to do. And then I've learned that some people really are just terrible people. I learned not to get your hopes up for whale sharks in the wild. I learned that Thailand is one of my favourite countries and that I absolutely have to return. I learned that 8 pairs of pants is not enough for a long backpacking trip. And finally, I learned that I would like to wear contact lenses every day, not some glasses contact lens hybrid that I've been doing. Doesn't work for me. Contact lenses every day is what I want to do. So anyway, those are some examples. To lead on from that, we have step 2, which is to make a plan of all the things that you now want to change given the things that you have just learnt. So immediately, on a practical level, I need to change my contact lens subscription from 20 pairs a month to 30 pairs a month. I need to make sure that I'm packing at least 10 pairs of pants on my next backpacking trip because I'm definitely going to need them. I'm going to make a conscious effort to do the things that make me happy and care less about what other people think. I'm going to actively try and be a better communicator, even if the person that I'm trying to communicate with isn't. I'm going to try and smile more at strangers. You never know what someone else is going through that day, and a little bit of positivity can go a long way. Step 3 is to then simply view the trip that you've just been on as a completed memory. I think a big cause of the travel blues is the fact that we are still hanging on to that trip because we still want to be there. But I think it's important that we now view that trip as a memory that has been completed, a chapter that has been closed. And right now, in this present moment, you are in the process of creating your next memory, whatever that is. And I think, in other words, I'm basically saying that we just need to start living in the moment more and not in the past. Not every chapter in your life is going to be as fun as the next. There's going to be highlights, there's going to be lowlights, and everything in between. But to be honest, I think that's what keeps things interesting. And just because that travel chapter has closed, it doesn't mean that you can't create new ones in the future, and they need planning, and you can get excited for those. So step 4 is to think about where is next on your bucket list. You can get an awesome map for inspiration, you can read travel blogs, you can read travel brochures, you can watch travel movies, and actually I have a new recommendation for you. I recently watched a movie called Without Saying Goodbye on Netflix, and it's basically about this female backpacker in Peru. She's living in a hostel, and then there's this rich architect man who comes along and they fall in love, and there's more to the story. It's a little bit corny, but essentially they just show some absolutely beautiful spots in Peru, and a lot of it is in a hostel as well, so it's just really good backpacker vibes and like good backpacker inspiration, so I recommend that. And you can also watch Backpacking Bananas on YouTube. That works too. Researching and planning a new trip is actually one of my entire favourite parts of the whole travel experience, and it's definitely a good way to manage travel blues. And personally at the moment I am planning my next trip to several countries in Europe, but I will be making a whole video on that, so make sure you look out for that one. And other than that, I think the best way to manage your travel blues when you're home is to do the things and to go to the places that make you happy, ultimately, and do that as much as you can, which is exactly where I'm going right now.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
I definitely only went in there for food, and I spent £20 on food, which was good, what I was expecting, and I've got food for the next few days. And then I spent 30 quid on makeup and skincare, mostly just because I got a bit carried away, because I remembered that I'm going out in London tomorrow and I wanted to get some foundation, because unfortunately when I backpack for a long time I'm not wearing makeup like when I'm gone, and then all the makeup that I do have just gets really scabby and old, and obviously you want to refresh. So I got some new foundation and mascara, because my mascara is also a bit scabby. Some face wash, just because I saw it and I thought, oh, actually I'm probably in need of some. So that was it. That was my shop in Sainsbury's, and it brought me a lot of joy. I don't know what it is about Sainsbury's. Maybe it's just like the childhood memories I've got attached to it, or just, I mean, supermarkets in general I am a big fan of, and I just get a lot of pleasure from wandering down the aisles and like choosing my favourite foods. But Sainsbury's in particular is just, it's always going to be number one. But I think I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope you manage to manage your travel blues a little bit better. Don't think that I have too much else to say on the topic, so I'll leave it here, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's going to be. I'm not too sure. Okay, bye!
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and